The Department of Public Health and Human Services is pleased to bring you Aging Horizons. Medicare, Medicaid, Social Security, fraud, legal issues, veterans benefits, and caregiving. Aging Horizons is a program dedicated to inform and prepare Montanans on these timely issues, making a difference to you and your loved ones. Here now is today's program host.
Hello everyone, and today on Aging Horizons we have a great program planned for you. We're going to be talking about the RAM program, and that's the Reverse Annuity Mortgage Program. Wonderful way to tap into all that equity in your house. If you need some extra dough every month, or you need to do some remodel or something like that, great program to look into. You stay with us, we have a lot of information for you.
Can you say ombudsman?
Ombudsman. Benson?
Uma Doodlesman? Fortunately, you don't have to say it right to get the help of a long-term care ombudsman. If you or a loved one reside in assisted living or long-term care, an ombudsman can help resolve any issue. And these services are completely free and confidential. Now, why don't you try that again?
Ombudsman.
Did you just text me?
I didn't want to disturb you if you were sleeping.
Sleeping? I'm sitting right next to you, silly.
There you are. Hey, I found a couple of Medicare helping programs online that I think we ought to look into.
It says if we qualify, we can get help paying for our prescription drugs. Oh, and there's a program that can help pay our Part B premium.
To learn more about extra help and Medicare savings programs, call your local SHIP counselor today.
Maybe I better text him.
Here in Montana, we love our outdoor activities. Unfortunately, few of them are risk-free. Indeed, Montana is second in the nation per capita in head injuries that can destroy the lives of people we love. That's why you should insist your family always wear protective helmets. But you can do even more. When you fill out your vehicle registration this year, circle the Y and donate $1 to support traumatic brain injury prevention and education. Now that's using the old noggin.
Wildfires rage in forests and developed areas. Where do you live? Are you familiar with your community's risk and its capacity to respond? If not, it's time to learn. Talk to your neighbors. Ask about the wildfire risk and the evacuation plans. Decide what you can do to mitigate the hazard. Everything you and your neighbors do right now might save property and lives later. If there's no group to join, form one. Get help at firesafemt.org. Paid for by FireSafe Helena and aired by the Montana Broadcasters Association.
Hello everyone, welcome to Aging Horizons, brought to you by the Department of Public Health and Human Services. I'm your host, Kimmy Everman, and as I said on top, we're going to be talking about the RAM program today. And the RAM is a reverse annuity mortgage program. The state of Montana has a great one we're going to talk about today. You may have seen advertising for others because there's many out there. But if you're a Montana citizen, we want you to hear about what's available to you as a citizen of this state. We have with us today Rebecca Holland.
Hello.
Welcome, Rebecca.
Thank
and
you.
Rebecca, you're a RAM loan specialist and you
Yes.
work for the Board of Housing.
Yes.
And I'm going to say up top, everybody deserves a home. Everybody.
Absolutely.
So thanks so
Yes.
much for what you're
Thank
doing
you.
with this. Why don't you talk just a little bit about what you do as a RAM loan specialist and what a RAM loan even is?
Yeah, so it's basically taking the equity in your home that you've built up over time and just accessing that as monthly payments every month. Sometimes people are limited to their Social Security or a little part-time job, and it helps them have a little bit another source of income every month, and it's just using what they've built up over time from the equity of their home.
Sure. And as a loan specialist there, what's your kind of job, I guess, to do with folks?
So I pretty much am over the whole RAM program. So whenever you call, you're going to be talking to me.
Okay.
And
We're going to put that phone number up on the screen. Let's do it.
So we just help senior citizens in the state of Montana, and we explain to them how the program works, and we walk them through the entire process. And even 10, 20 years down the road, we will be there for you, helping them figure out, if they have any questions or if, things come up so we're there just pretty much throughout the whole process, and you won't ever get anyone that doesn't really know what they're talking about. So Yeah.
I've certainly found that to be very true with the staff in your area.
Thank you.
But I do want to ask a biggie, because this one comes up over and over again about the RAM loans. So Medicare or Medicaid is going to come and take my house after that, right? That's not going to happen, is it?
No, absolutely not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a loan against your equity.
Your equity, yep. And so how it works is just, you might not have enough money coming in, so you can access that, and there are some qualifications that we have to go over, and that will be age. So you have to be 68 and above to qualify for our program, and then also income limits, and our income limits are always posted on our website and updated pretty much every year. Another thing about the income that people may not know is we can deduct your medical. If you have ongoing and medical expenses that you have, and they have to be very verifiable. So we'll need the documentation on that.
Sure.
But we can deduct that from your income. So if you have a little part-time job and then you're getting Social Security and you're worried that you make too much money for those limitations that we have, then we could always look into the medical. But we don't need it unless we need it. So it's there to tap into and calculate if we need that.
Sure.
So.
And what about, does your house have to be paid off for it to work?
We can work with existing loans if they're depending on the situation.
Sure.
It'll depend on your appraisal amount. We do have FHA appraisals done, but it'll just depend. If you do have a little bit of a mortgage, we could possibly pay that off with a loan. You might get less on your monthly payment, or maybe even not even a monthly payment, but that will eliminate
free up
that mortgage that you've been paying on, and it'll come back into your account.
Right, and so and at the end of the day, all we're talking about here is this is just sort of a stipend, a monthly stipend that you can take as a loan against the equity in your home.
Yeah,
and no one's going to take your home.
No, absolutely not.
And no one's going to try to tell you that you will lose your home.
Yeah, I had a question from someone. I'm worried that we're going to have to leave we will never ask you to leave your home. Even after the 10-year payments are done, you will stay in your home for as long as you remain in the home and haven't left the home on a permanent basis. You will stay in your home, and we will not kick you out.
Yeah, and in our next segment, we'll talk all about the ins and outs of that. But one of the things I did want to mention also is that there are a lot of these that folks see advertised, right?
Yes.
And I'm sure you would suggest anybody in Montana call you first.
Yes, there's a lot of we were talking about shady ones out there. Yeah. They either are a criminal thing, or they charge you so many fees. We don't charge any fees. So I would please look into our program first before you decide to go elsewhere, just to make sure. Our age limits are a little tad bit higher, but we really do take care of our Montana seniors.
Yeah, and I'll say that is absolutely true. I've worked with this program for a number of years, and it's been excellent from beginning to end. And so really cool. I'm so glad that y'all are still there, and I think it's really, really important that we laid that groundwork, that first you're not going to lose your home.
No.
This is just a loan against what you've already paid.
Absolutely.
And number two, you have no fees. I guess I probably knew that, but didn't think about it.
Yeah, you'll come to the table with zero. And we'll pay for the appraisal, the title work, all of that, and closing costs are usually around like $2,000, give or take, depending on who we're working with. But that'll be rolled back into your loan, and you really will come to the table with nothing.
That is so awesome, because folks, as we all know, going to that settlement closure table can be a great big shock and an awful lot of money on the table. So this is just one of the many, many perks of this great program, the Montana RAM program, the reverse annuity mortgage program. What we want you to do is stay with us, because we're going to go through in a little more detail just what this is all about and how it all works, and some of your choices and options with this program if you choose to look into it. So please don't go anywhere. We want to make sure you get all this information.
Elder abuse is a growing problem, and it's happening right here in our Montana communities. At least 1 in 10 older adults are victims of physical or emotional abuse, financial exploitation, or neglect. To get help or report elder abuse, call your local area agency on aging or Adult Protective Services at 1-844-277-9300.
Every 65 seconds, someone is affected with Alzheimer's or other dementias. Many become isolated at a time when help is most needed. If you or someone you love is affected, help is available, both for people with memory loss and their caregivers. Memory loss can feel frightening, but you are not alone. Call the free 24/7 Alzheimer's Association helpline, 800-272-3900, for guidance and support.
You mean I can get help paying my prescription drug premiums?
Let me get this straight. I could be eligible for help with my family's prescription premiums even though I own my own home?
And our assets won't be counted.
If you're a Montana resident enrolled in the Medicare prescription drug program, you could be eligible for help paying your premiums. Call or visit the Big Sky RX website today to find out, even if you think you're over income.
What do you know about that? I'm eligible.
When I found out it was diabetes, my first thought was, Barb, you need help. You have to take control of this. There is help. My doctor gave me a phone number. I called and signed up with a diabetes educator. There is help. I have to put blinders on when I walk past the bakery counter. I can feel my blood sugar go up. You succeed a little at a time. If you have diabetes, help is available. You do not have to do it alone.
Ask your doctor about diabetes education or visit montana211.org.
Hi everyone, welcome back to Aging Horizons. We're here with Rebecca Holland of the RAM program, or the Reverse Annuity Mortgage Program, that is worked out of the Board of Housing. Rebecca, we're talking about this great program that has got really not a ton of strings on it, but there's a couple of things that people would need to know. So let's just talk about, maybe go through the counseling and the whole thing, and let's talk about that.
So first I'll talk about the loan limits. We do loan up to $15,000 to $150,000. $150,000 is the most that we can loan out, and that'll be based on your appraisal too. We do only loan out 80% of your value of your home, so that you're always left with some equity. You're always left with that chunk of equity, and which is really cool. I think that you're not giving up all of it, and you're not leaving, with 100% of your equity at the end of the day.
And I'm really, would you just say that one more time, because that's so important?
Yeah, so 80%, we loan up to 80% of the value of your home based on your FHA appraisal.
Okay. So you're not sort of going to be at the end going, darn, I have nothing left.
And home values are pretty good right now. So your appraisal will probably appraise for a little bit more. Keep in mind it does have to be FHA appraisal, so that's one of our caveats that we have. But people are getting a little bit more because of the values of their home, and we can't promise those are going to stay up right now.
No, certainly not. But the bottom line, there's a few bottom lines here, which again is you're not going to be left with nothing.
Right.
Very, very important.
Yeah, and you will still own your home. We just have a lien on the home. We have to be in first place position on lien. So. So you don't have to turn over ownership or anything.
No.
So you will still own your home, and we will just like a conventional mortgage, they have a lien on your home. It's the same exact thing.
Okay.
Let's see. We do offer lump sums, and how those work are, it's usually up around $10,000, and maybe you need a new roof or you need new windows. And we also offer those if you have medical debt you need to pay off, or credit card debt. We just want to make sure when you start this loan out, you're kind of starting off with a clean slate.
Sure.
And you can live your life knowing that you're also getting these payments are coming in, and also a lot of your worries of debt are going to be probably erased.
So part of the loan that you might get could be a lump sum that can be used for a few different things based on your criteria, so that you can, as you said, start out clean and not have a bunch of debt hanging over your head.
Yeah, and if you do need a new roof or new we will work with your contractors as well to make sure that you're not being taken advantage of in any way. So we will walk you through the entire step of the way and be there for you throughout forever. You know, we have some that have been there for 20, 30 years and they're still hanging out with us. So we make sure we take care of them, check in on them a few times a year
exactly,
too,
and just make sure everything is going as it should.
Yes.
Super. Okay, and what about you've said a couple of times a 10-year window. How does that work?
So the payments will come in for 10 years. You know, we'll base on an amortization schedule that we'll be giving you, you know, at loan closing. So you'll get payments for 10 years, and then after the 10 years, you still live in your home. You may not be getting the payments anymore, but that's why timing is very important, just to make sure. We don't want you to be, you know, used to those 10 years of payments coming in, and then you're in the home for 20 more years without getting those payments. So timing on the loan is very, very important, and not to do it too soon, because we want to make sure that you're not get used to those payments and then they stop all of a sudden. Because we do it for 10 years, and then you can still stay in your home, but you know, and the interest will. And right now our interest rates are at 5%, when the highest they will ever be is at 5%. So they are at 5% right now.
And can you just clarify a little bit more about how if your payments end and you're still alive and living in the home, that you can stay there? So when does that lien get paid?
Whenever you leave the home on a permanent basis, whether you pass away or you sell their home or you have to move into a facility, you know, it's around more than 180 days vacant from the home. The loan needs to be. We need to figure out what we're doing with that. So.
Well, and at that point, you're probably not coming back. If you've either passed on or you're going.
And at that point, we'll work with the family or whoever you have as a contact and to see what we want to do with it. And it's genuinely up to you what you want to do with it and your loved ones. So.
Okay. Now, we just have a couple of minutes left in this segment, but I do want to talk about the counseling, because that's huge.
Yes. So we have counselors all over the state, and what that means is, you know, you can meet with one of those counselors and then they will bounce you off to us so that you don't have to come all the way to Helena every time. And, you know, you don't want to travel. And so we have counselors that are all over the state. And typically you would just, you know, if you want to figure out where your counselor is, you would just call the number on the screen, which comes right to me. And we can refer you off to anyone that's in your area, and you will meet with them, and they will just walk you through the whole process and take the application for you and make sure you have all the documentation, and then they'll pass it back off to me, and then at that point I take over and, you know, I'll be your new best friend.
Well, that's, you know, I just, again, you know, I think this is such a wonderful program that I actually believe you will be their best friend, because it's been such a help to so many people in Montana for so many years.
Yes, absolutely.
Folks, we still have a whole lot more to talk about. We want you to be sure you know about this option. Again, remember, this is not taking your home. You don't lose ownership of your home. You stay in your home as long as you can, you're alive, or you go to a facility. Then the lien gets paid back. And in the meantime, what you're getting is 10 years of a loan of money you already paid on your own, that you've paid already. So it's pretty much your money anyway. And we really want folks to be aware that that is an option, and it doesn't have to be a scary option. A lot more to tell you. Come on back.
Respite care is amazing. If you are capable of doing it, the rewards are beyond measure.
Stephanie Young, respite care provider, on the unexpected benefits of helping people in need.
Being a respite care provider is an amazing experience. It's something that what you give, you get back 100-fold. You receive so much more than you could ever imagine.
To find out how to change lives, including your own, go to respite.mt.gov.
I think the most pleasant surprise when we turned 65 and signed up for Medicare Part B was finding out about our Welcome to Medicare preventive visit.
It was free, and it gave us the opportunity to visit with our doctors and establish a plan for our health going forward.
They reviewed our medical history, measured our height, weight, blood pressure, and counseled us on other risk factors.
To learn more about Medicare's free or low-cost preventive and wellness benefits, call your local SHIP counselor at 800-551-3191. I mentioned it's free, right?
Twice.
This is Bill. He just received his new Medicare card and is following some simple rules to protect himself from fraud. He knows to never give out his Medicare, Social Security, or bank number over the phone. And this is Nancy. She knows that to detect any problems, she always reads her Medicare summary notice or Medicare Advantage EOB to make sure the billing is correct. Both Bill and Nancy know that anything suspicious can be reported to Montana SMP at 1-800-551-3191.
I've been shooting since I was young. It's something I've always enjoyed. I wasn't feeling like myself, but my friend noticed. He asked if he could hold onto my guns temporarily. At first, I was a little shocked, but then I agreed. I think he saved my life that day.
Hi folks, welcome back. We're talking with Rebecca Holland today about reverse annuity mortgages. Rebecca, let's revisit, we were just talking about the counseling piece of this process.
Yeah.
And before we move on, I did have a question regarding who can be with you at these counseling sessions.
So you can bring your family members, anyone who you feel like you just want to help understand it a little bit better. We have a lot of seniors that bring their sons or daughters, and they're very involved throughout the whole process to make sure that their parents are being taken care of. And we are very happy to talk with whoever, making sure the privacy laws are still in place.
Certainly.
But just, if family has questions, they can even now I get calls from family members that just maybe want to understand what's going on a little bit better, and I'm happy to talk with anyone. You are not alone in this process. We will help you through the whole way. So.
Well, and things of this nature get harder and harder to maybe grasp. As we age, we all know
exactly.
that. And so I always feel it's really important to have a sort of a backup person knowing what's going on.
Absolutely.
So let's talk a little bit more about the process, because this is definitely, there's a tiny process.
Yeah, so you'll reach out to me unless you know who your counselor is in your area. I will, if you have any questions or you want to know what kind of numbers, I can always crunch a little bit of numbers for you to make sure it makes sense for you too. And then at that point we'll pass you off to a counselor, and they'll take the application with you. They'll ask, answer any questions that you may have and help you feel comfortable. And that's another thing, we want you to feel comfortable throughout this whole process. We will never, there's no pressure to do anything. This is genuinely just to help you in your life. That money every month might just be a world of difference. Everything's going up right now in the economy, so
Certainly.
Even $400 a month could just be life-changing for a lot of people.
Absolutely. And when you're on a fixed income, that would be like a miracle to some people.
So it's times are tough right now, so we really, it's really beneficial, and we have this pool of money, and it's here, and it's secure and safe for the state. So it's a very safe and secure program to help everybody out. So.
And one of the things I especially like is that you talked about lump sums, maybe having new windows or a new roof or something. Those are the kinds of expenses that people put off because who can afford it?
I know.
And so to be able to have that lump and then have some $300-400 tacked on. To your
life-changing, honestly.
Yes, very life-changing. I absolutely agree. Now, one of the things that I also wanted to ask you, Rebecca, was about documentation. What kinds of things should a person start to gather up if they're going to do this?
So we'll need your deed of trust for your home. We'll need, just if you have Social Security, we'll need all those award letters, all those monthly things that you may get in. Another thing to remember is this income is not you don't have to report it on your taxes.
You know what? I wanted to just ask that because sometimes people are afraid to look into these options because they're getting a different sort of benefit that will be, screwed up basically.
It's not tax reportable at all.
Great.
And it won't affect any of your benefits for anything.
Right.
But yeah, so, you'll just reach out to us, whatever documentation that you need, and the counselors will walk you through everything that you need. And you can call them ahead of time before the appointment. They'll probably let you know what you need to bring, and we'll just go from there. And once the application is complete, they'll bring it right back to us, and I will look through it all and make sure we have everything we need and everything looks good. I'll let you know. Which we're very communicative throughout the whole process to let you know what's going on. We'll never leave you hanging,
Sure.
And it's usually a 6 to 8 week process, depending on, make sure the title comes back good and the appraisal comes back good. So it could be a little longer depending on the situation, but and then we'll
sort of in that time frame.
Yeah, in that time frame. It just depends on the situation. Everyone's different, but that's usually our baseline of how long it would take. And then once the appraisal comes back, we'll order the title and then set a closing date, and we'll let you know what all that is. And then we'll be there for you months down the road as well. Years.
And then once the person is, you're found that you're gonna be eligible for this, and the closing has happened and all that. Do they get a paper check, or does it go into their bank account?
It'll be direct deposited, and
Nice.
They used to do paper checks, but they found things were getting lost in the mail.
Well, it's just so much less dangerous.
Yes.
That way the person knows exactly when it's coming, because it'll probably come in the same day.
Same day every month.
And and they'll know who it's coming from and that sort of thing. And not have to, and then also the bane of my existence, have to go to the bank. I mean, it's nice to stay home when it's cold and just have that.
It's really just worry free. It'll just come into your bank, and even if it's 6 months before your last payment or 12, we will be sending you letters throughout the years, letting you know what's going on. You'll never be wondering, how long do I have left, or anything like that. And if you do have a question about that, just call us, and we'll look up your loan, and we'll figure it out together. So
this is such a great program. I know I've said that 50 times, but that is just it's such a great program.
It really is.
And it really is so helpful for folks who, as we said, a little bit of extra could be life-changing
for sure.
And I think one of the things that I always say about folks that are getting these sort of little stipends is, maybe you want to buy a birthday present for one of your grandkids. Maybe you want to have your own nails done. Maybe you want to, it doesn't matter.
Absolutely.
It's yours.
It's your money.
Yes, to do with as you please. You earned it. You paid for your home with it, and you should be able to use it now.
And it helps you stay in your home, the home that you felt comfortable with
throughout
your whole life, or maybe you've been there for 50 years and you just where you feel comfortable, and you won't have to leave. It's still your home, and you won't have to leave, and you'll in fact get money every month to help you stay in the home. So
best words so far today. Well, thank you, Rebecca.
Thank you
has
so
been
much.
Just a great show. I was really glad that you could come and be with us. And folks, remember, it's an option. You're not losing your home. You're not losing ownership. It's just an option. Give us a call. We'll put the number on a screen. For Aging Horizons, I'm Kimmy Everman.
Special thanks to the Department of Public Health and Human Services for their continued support. Hosts on Aging Horizons are program specialists at the Montana Office on Aging. Production facilities provided by Video Express Productions. For more information about Aging Horizons, call the Department of Public Health and Human Services toll-free at 800-332-2272.